If you thought I was excited before, just you wait. Pack a lunch because this is going to be a long one. Welcome back and thank you for joining me for another reaction video. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe, turn on those notifications, and you're good to go. I don't know if you can tell how excited I am, probably by the stupid grin on my face, or probably by the fact that I won't be able to sit still for the duration of this video. But if you're watching this, you'll know that Unleash the Archers just dropped a brand new video for their song Legacy, and Brittney reached out to me and asked if I'd like an exclusive early look at that video, and of course I played it cool. I was like, yeah, Brittney, sounds fun, let's do that. But inside I was exploding and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. Brittney and I were actually chatting back and forth, and we were trying to arrange a dual reaction for this, but I've been having tech nightmares for days. Don't worry, I am sorting that out and it'll be ready for the next one. But your boy's got you. Next best thing, I'm going to get to do this reaction, and then I'm going to get to talk to Brittney straight after to get her thoughts on the video, catch up with her and see how they're doing since the album launch. And I don't want to overstep or speak out of turn here, but I think we're becoming friends. Super excited about this one. I'm going to set up and I'll be back in a second. Right, we're all set up and ready to go. I'm like a kid on Christmas morning. I can't wait for this. Unleash the Archers Legacy. Let's see what you got. Wow. No. Yes, get in. I'm going right back to the beginning because this is a huge start to a song, and I don't want to let it get too far without mentioning all the awesome things that I'm hearing, all the awesome things that are going on. Started out so delicately. There was that awesome guitar piece, a lot of palm muting opening up on certain chords and kind of cycling back and forth. There's a nice delay on that. Delay is such a wonderful effect. You can play on the beat, you can syncopate it, and there were definitely nice palm muting pieces in between, but you could hear it open up. You could hear that chord really clearly playing on the beat, on the loop. Then there was a nice kind of vocal layer on top that came in. I don't think there were any lyrics there, but it was just floating on top, more vocal sounds. What a beautiful haunting melody. And then everything exploded. And I didn't catch a lot, to be honest. I was trying really hard, but there's so much going on there. I definitely heard some blast beats. I heard a lot of nice kind of like ride cymbal work. There was a lot of trem picking, and then all of a sudden that sweeping that came in with the lead work, just insane. If you thought I was excited before, just you wait. Pack a lunch because this is going to be a long one. A lot of downstrumming on this. Hang on. Sorry, Brittney. I never want to interrupt you. You're magical. But I need to talk about a couple of things. There's something really special about this. It's super busy. It's super energetic, but it's larger than life, and in some way feels a little like romantic to me. The drums are doing something really cool and probably overlooked because of the lead work that's going on. But there's some awesome change from that ride cymbal onto the hi-hat work. There's a nice increase in the kick intensity, and it's giving this life. It's allowing you to play it for longer without there being any like kind of over repetition of that cycle. It's really cool. It's just awesome, and this is special. This is going to be really, really cool. I can't wait to see what they do. I mean, we just heard it kind of go into the vocal there. I didn't catch a lot of it, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of uplifting and bringing down of that energy to provide that impact. But so far, this is ticking a big box for me. Trying so hard to find you. Sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm pausing. That's what we do here. Okay. Video is fire because it's like quite serious. It seems to be just kind of like following. Looks like the band members, like kind of everyday shots, grayscale, and I saw some of the neon, which is like the lyrics, I think. I really like that. The contrast is really nice, as is the contrast of the song. Now, I don't know if that was deliberate, but for me, it's working. And just as she started singing there's a lot of bouncing around of those vocals. There's a primary vocal, there's vocals in the back, and they're offset just before, just after. And if you can, please listen to the song with headphones, because there's a lot of beautiful editing and mixing where you can hear those vocals jump from left to right in your headphones, and it's special.
As I was wandering the world, trying so hard to find you, to give me purpose in this life I lost. And as I learned to forgive you for all you've done, destined.
Okay, here's another example. I have to say this, there is an enormous amount of vocal layering happening here, and it's beautiful and it's perfect, and it's hard to latch onto. You almost want to not try and figure it out because it's so special and you want to let it come to you. So I'll do my best, but here's another example of the drums just providing life and energy and impact. Listen to the change and switch from the beat that they're playing, I think in this piece, to when it switches over, and you can hear more on the hi-hat, like more of a solidified on the beat kind of 4/4, and you can hear a little gallop with a kick. It's just a fresh percussive change. And to be honest, there's so much going on at the moment, but it just works. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
And as I learned to forgive you for all you've done, destiny opened a door and showed you were the one we're searching for. But as time wore away and my will to carry on, only vengeance could take what I give to see it done. When I finally found the word.
Okay, hang on. That's going to be the chorus, I'm assuming. But it had almost, when it started, almost felt like a pre-chorus. But then you realize how catchy it was, how awesome it was. It's got this unresolved element to the melody at the end of the vocal, which makes the next cycle seem so important, so necessary, and you're just hanging on to it. Wow. Again, layering, harmonies, they're mixed and edited so perfectly. Last time I spoke to Brittney, I mentioned about how impressed I was with just her understanding of her vocal, her musical and vocal IQ, and it is so evident in the song. It is incredible. Unleash the Archers doing Unleash the Archers things.
Take what I give to see it done.
Nice quickening of the pace there as well. Double time.
When I finally found the words, the ones I knew would wake you, to take you from her and to make you mine. Somehow all I felt was hollow. Please tell me why. Nothing is ever the way
there when she sings The Way. Listen to the harmony structure in that. It's quite delicate. They're not forcing it to be a harmony. In other words, they're not forcing you to hear every single layer. They're forcing you to hear the accumulative effect of those really well positioned layers of vocals. And too good. Too good. I just have to hear it again. I'm sorry, I have to hear that again. She's got this ability to sit in just a regular register, which has such a beautiful, rich tone to it, and out of nowhere, just spark through the ceiling. Her voice goes out of the room, out of the stratosphere, into the universe, and just sits above us all, and we just look up and go, wow. Really nice break in the energy. Okay, a couple things, yeah. First thing, and I don't know why I'm thinking about this, I hope they have their Fitbits on. I'd love to know how many kilometers they covered doing this video, because there's a lot of walking going on. But on a serious note, I love it. I love the whole fact that they're just kind of following the band members. You can see those lyrics come up, that grayscale. It's working in a big way for me. It's visually very pretty, it's beautiful, but it's not distracting you away from how important and how intricate the audio is. Now, that solo was magical, and it's almost like they were listening to me, because just as I said, nice drop in the energy back. And it's short, unexpected switches like that that make bands like this great. It's hard to find the words sometimes to explain certain small things like that, but just these unexpected changes in energy, taking a structure that is quite well defined and just making it a little different, helping the listener second guess a little and just giving you something a little fresh and new. It's very appreciated from my side, and I'm sure from every other listener, whether you play an instrument or not. It's magical and lovely, awesome solo. I expect nothing less from them. I'm loving this song. I'm loving the guitar work. You know, I've spoken a lot about everything else, but I haven't spoken about the guitar enough, because there's just so much going on. The way that it's galloping, sticking to that kick in the verse, and just being really spot on the money there, and simple, allowing the vocals to be the hero, is really good. And then in the chorus, just ringing out with those really nice chords. It's one of the few times in the song where it does ring out, and because of that, the impact is much higher. It's cool. It's damn good. Apex.
Not when spending your days as a slave is near an end. I promise this, I vow to set you free. You
Wow. Well, that's that. I can't listen to any other music for the rest of the day because nothing's going to beat that. Um, what a privilege to be able to see that early and to get it ready so that it can come out for you guys shortly after um, their premiere. And just what a wonderful, wonderful song. Larger than life, romantic, intricate, beautiful. The video, them all kind of walking and then meeting up at the end there, I kind of got goosebumps from it. It's just a really feel good moment. And, you know, the times we live in with the separation and kind of isolation and just seeing them come together like that is just, it's just awesome. Very, very privileged to be able to see that a bit early and get to experience what a magical song that is. And so glad that I didn't kind of, you know, I wanted to jump through the album and listen to songs like this. And so glad I didn't, so I could have this moment right now. They are an important band, a necessary band, and I cannot wait to have the opportunity to watch them live. As I said, I'm going to be able to talk to Brittney and get her thoughts on the video, so I don't want to ramble on too much. Give me a second, we'll be back with Britney Slayes. As if an early preview of the incredible new video for Legacy wasn't enough, I'm joined by the magical, impossibly talented Britney Slayes. Brittney, thank you for joining me, and how's your day been so far?
Pretty good, actually. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, pretty good. Not too bad after watching that video. Absolute banger of a song. Awesome
Oh,
video
thank you.
accompany it, and really, really magical time. I can't remember how much fun I had. So the last time I had that much fun reacting to a video. So thank you so much for letting me see that early. Have you guys? How do you feel now, having put that out to the public and all the hard work is done? Is there a sense of relief? Are you able to sit back and kind of just let the public enjoy that and get the feedback now? Does it feel like a bit of relief?
I mean, yeah, it's always a relief when you finally finish a music video and you get it out there in the world and you can move on to other things. But that being said, there is always other things to move on to. So, but yeah, we had a lot of fun with this one. It's one of our favorite tracks, so we all wanted it to be something a little bit more personal. And of course, we were right down to the wire again, like usual. We couldn't just have a normal lyric video. We wanted to have the lyrics, you know, sticking on buildings and things. So that was a little bit more difficult than we originally thought. But yeah, it's great, and hopefully people really, you know, enjoy watching it and listening as much as we enjoyed creating it.
I'm sure they will. I know I did. I wanted to talk to you about that because at its core, it is a lyric video, but it's more than that. It's beautifully formed. There is a bit of a journey to that, especially with everyone coming together at the end. What was the thinking and the concept behind that? And then along with that, this is also the fourth track on the album. What's going on in that chapter of the story as well? And did any of that kind of line up with the concept you were looking at for the video?
Yeah, I mean, we, like I said, it's all one of our favorites. So when we were talking about what to do with the music video, we kind of said, okay, well, we haven't done a lyric video yet, and maybe we should, you know, give that a shot. But we didn't want to do just a normal, you know, regular kind of lyric video where you take the album artwork or whatever and have words over top of it. We wanted it to be something special because it's one of our favorite tracks, and we know we have a lot of fans out there that really love it. So we were talking about it and we're kind of like, well, what does this song, like, how does it make you feel? And I told it was like, well, this is like staring out the window when you're taking the SkyTrain downtown or something, you know, or just walking through the streets with headphones on. That's totally what this song feels like to me. And the boys all agreed. So we were like, well, why don't we walk downtown? Why don't we like have it so that, you know, we're coming from all over the place? And it's really pulling from those first words from it as I was wandering the world. And so it's kind of like us in all different areas of Vancouver, and then we come together at the end to you know, to hang out and have a beer in the Olympic Plaza there. So it was, you know, it was something that we wanted to have a little bit more meaning behind it, but also be something that we haven't done yet for the album. And then like song wise, lyric wise, this is the part where the grandson meets the immortal for the first time and tells him his story about how he's been looking for him, and then he realized that he wasn't the one he should be looking for, and then just talking about how his path through life has changed and how the immortal has influenced it. And it's kind of, you know, it's a lot like family coming together after, you know, being apart for so long. And I know we're all feeling that right now and going through, you know, not being able to see our friends and our family if, you know, if we live apart, if they're not in our bubble. and that kind of thing. So we were kind of talking about it. We're like, should we hug at the end? Are people going to think we're like, where's your social distancing, people? But then it's like, yeah, man, because that's what everyone wants to do right now. And we aren't like really in one another's bubble because we live in different areas, but we jam together, and we need to keep that up, and we're constantly working together. So we're just kind of like, we are one another's bubble. So, and every time we see each other, we're just so stoked, and it's like, yes, we get to play music, and that's how we feel every time. So that's what we wanted to show in the video.
Definitely got that feeling across, especially when you guys met up at the end and hugged. Like you said, being apart from family and friends, it was a really kind of emotional goosebump moment, and I thought it was really amazing. I didn't expect it, so it was a nice kind of nod to the end of the song.
Yeah.
One thing I did want to know is you guys look like you covered an awful amount of ground. Did you have any Fitbits on monitoring the kind of distance you were walking?
Yeah, I think, we were walking around that day. It was a lot of like drive to this spot and then walk for a bit, drive to this spot, walk for a bit. So I think on mine, I did 10.5 kilometers or something like that at the end of the day. But, I mean, that's not crazy or anything. So, but yeah, we did, we had a lot of places in mind, and we were just kind of like, okay, what's cool? What's a cool building? What's going to look cool with the words on it? And we just constantly were thinking of like places where we could incorporate cool lyrics and that kind of thing. So that was really just top of mind. And then Andrew had to do his separately because we did it on the weekend and he couldn't come over on the weekend. So he came over during the week, and while we were all working, he did his section. And then we literally like came together at the end of the night to finish filming. And it was very much just like what happened in the, in the video for real. It was a lot of fun, like how was this guy train ride and that kind of thing. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. And, I think there's people from Vancouver or people that have visited Vancouver will recognize a lot of places.
Well, I thought it was a beautiful video. It was wonderfully shot, and there was a nice contrast between that grayscale and then those kind of Lumo lyrics plastered all over, and it was done really well. And there was a lot of contrast in the music as well. It felt this larger than life, almost ballady, dreamy, romantic piece, but there was a lot of busyness going on. And one thing you said to me in our last chat is to keep an eye out for those harmonies and the layering of the vocals, and you weren't wrong. What was it about this song? What was it about this song that allowed you to feel a bit more free to push that envelope a bit further in terms of layering all of those? There was so much beautiful editing and panning with the vocals, and it just felt like you had a bit more freedom to do that.
Yeah, it was really, someone actually commented on the YouTube video about the song, and was kind of like, it was almost like with the layering of vocals, it was like she couldn't decide what to do, so she just did it all. And that was basically what happened. This song is really cool and very different for us. And it has a little bit of a Devin Townsend vibe to it,
Yeah.
at least, in our opinions. And Devin always does that. He just has, the Dev choir at all times in his music. And so I was like, wow, we really need to do something like that. And it was also that I did, so what I do when I write is I record like a melody. So I'll just be kind of singing to myself, and I'll play the song through over and over, and I'll be singing along to it. And then I'll pick melodies that I like, and I'll create like a master track. And so I'll be moving melodies and things all over the place. And I had probably about 4 or 5 tracks, and I accidentally unmuted them all and played it instead of just listening to the master melody that I created. And I was just like, what? Wait a minute. And it was playing all of the ideas that I had at once. So I was just like, this is what it is. I was like, oh, okay, I got it. Like, and then so that was really where like the idea to have everything come from the sides, and just really, especially if you're listening on headphones, to have it kind of be very much panned left and right in a lot of spots. So yeah, it was a little bit actually of what that person said, was like, I tried a bunch of things and then decided to just keep them all. But also I just love the thought of, this kind of cascading waterfall vocals and stuff. And I'd never really done that before. And I felt like this track lent itself well to that.
I loved it. I did say during the reaction that if people are going to listen to this, please try and listen to it with headphones as well, so you can get a bit more of that editing in there, because I think it is a masterful job of that.
Yeah.
The album's been out for a while. You've released a bunch of videos. Have you guys had a moment to kind of sit down and let it sink in? There's been so much positive feedback around what you've done, and a lot of people seem to be really on board with this is its own product and it's moving on from where you were and it's something special. Has that sunk in yet, or are you still kind of in the mix of pushing the album and doing all the little bits that you need to in the background?
Yeah, it's kind of it's a little bit of both. I mean, um I'm really enjoying Twitter because it seems to be like a place where people are really just kind of putting their opinion out there. Just like, oh man, this album is so cool, or I loved Apex, but I'm loving this even more. And just little one-off thoughts from everybody. And it's awesome. And I think people are getting it, because when we finished the album and we listened to it for the first time, we were kind of like, oh, we might be alienating some people here, but um, we were hoping that people would eventually figure it out, what we were trying to accomplish. And I think that they have, for the most part. Um, and it's really good. I mean, I was really worried for a long time there, especially even like right after, the first few weeks after it came out. I was like, everyone is still just comparing it to Apex. I was like, they're not understanding that this is a very different album and that they should, try and come at it from somewhere else. But I think that's happening now. So yeah, it's been nice to have it, give it a little bit of time. And hopefully by the time we can tour like next year, people are really gonna have discovered, everything there is to know about the record. And hopefully a lot of people will have discovered the band as well because of it. So because, with Apex, we constantly had people saying, just discovered Apex, just discovered you guys, love this album, you're super cool, or whatever. And we're starting to get that with Abyss as well. So hopefully it'll kind of broaden our fan horizons, just because it is such a different record.
I think it's the curse with creating such a magical album is everyone wants the next one to be that, but I think they're starting to realize, and quite early on, that this is something incredible in its own right. So it's a massive achievement. I mean, it hasn't been out that long, and I'm seeing a lot of those comments myself. So it's a wonderful job. I did want to talk about that. You guys, you mentioned to me in our last conversation that you were in the process of lining up some tours for next year, and fingers crossed everything goes ahead. I did want to ask though, usually you're touring and kind of writing in between, and I know you kind of wrote the double chapter at once, and that was kind of the play out that you wanted to have with Apex and Abyss, but with there being still such quite a big gap between now and when you're potentially going to be touring, is the band's mind starting to wander to the next phase? Is it going to disrupt that journey of writing and touring, or is there something that's, what's the next part of the puzzle before we go touring? Understandably, you still want people to enjoy these live.
Yeah, we are. I mean, Andrew and I have been talking a little bit about what's next, because we kind of have some ideas. Like I have some vocal ideas and he's some guitar ideas, and just like story wise, I already know what I want to do, and it's just a matter of kind of exploring that. But we were talking about how it's like, okay, well, if we start writing this right now, it might be like we might be releasing it before we actually get to tour for Abyss, because there's nothing really else to do right now. And it's not a complete album. We were just talking about maybe doing like an EP or something like that. So that's why we're kind of thinking like, yeah, maybe we could do that and, give fans a little something extra. But I mean, we're also not going to rush it, and we're not going to, make that the goal to have it out next year, because that's just crazy. But yeah, who knows what's going to happen. But I would really like to do something special, because it's looking like actually fall of 2021 and festivals, hopefully. But who knows right now? They're still very, it's all very trepidatious still. I'm genuinely not liking the way things are looking. So hopefully festivals and everything can go forward, but it's looking like touring is fall of 2021. So it's a lot of time to get some writing done.
Yeah, I think we've been conditioned to understand there's a formula of releasing an album and then touring, releasing an album and touring, and I think it's a different world right now. So you kind of get to make that mold for yourself. I did want to ask, I mean, and it's more of a commentary, but just to get your opinion on it. You guys are one of the bands that I see pushing the music really hard in your own right as individuals, whether it be on Twitch, whether it be on Twitter, whether it be through conversations just like this, interacting with kind of all different digital media forms. What is it about kind of your band that recognizes the potential in the area for expanding your fan base and kind of doing it yourself and kind of pushing? Has that been something you've always done? And is that something you like to do? Is it something that, you hope in the future maybe you could step away from that and focus more on the music?
I mean, that that would be great, but it's just kind of, it's what we've always done. Being a band in Canada, nobody knows who you are if you don't get out there and get it. You got to do all the work yourself. Like, Americans don't pay any attention to you. Oh God, especially power metal. And to add it on top of that, female fronted power metal. So no one gives a crap about us. So like, everything that we've ever done, we've had to work really hard for, and that recognition has not come easy. And Europe still, doesn't really know who we are. Like, aside from the United Kingdom, Germany, and maybe the Scandinavias, like, we're just slowly growing in all of these markets. But in Canada, the thing that got us really well known there was touring. So we've always just like, it's always been super important to us to get on the road. And that's how we grew our fan base in the beginning, was just, doing the legwork. And our first music video, was kind of, very DIY. So we were like, hey, we need to get a little more attention. So our second music video, we put like everything into it. We even did like a little Kickstarter thing for it, which we just, we're not really big fans of doing, but we just like, okay, we need to do something. And so we got a lot of attention from General of the Dark Army. And that was really the first time that anyone outside of Canada started to notice who we were. So we were like, okay, so we need to tour all the time. We need to put out high quality, interesting, captivating music videos, and we need to talk to whoever will talk to us. It doesn't matter if it's a little mom and pop publication from middle of nowhere. If they have, 300, 500, 1,000 regular viewers, then, we're going to do an interview with them. So I've always worked really hard to get us out there in whatever medium there, that was available. So it's just kind of been the way that we've always done it. And I don't know. I don't I don't feel like there's ever going to be a moment where we'll just get carried, by anything. So I'm never going to leave it to chance. I'm always going to do the work, basically.
Well, the hard work is not without appreciation. I know ever since I started doing these reactions, so ever since the first time I did a reaction to Awakening, everyone reached out and said, reach out to Brittney, reach out to the band. They're very accessible. You can get to them. And they weren't wrong, because, all it took was a couple of conversations and you guys were really up for chatting. And it does mean the world, because with that accessibility, you can recognize the hard work, and it comes through the music, through your interactions with the fans as well. So thank you very much for that. I did want to ask, you've done a couple live shows.
You guys are the most important thing.
Well, we do we do try. I mean, it's for the love of the music. So and speaking of music, I can't tell you, I'm still going on about that song. I haven't shut up in our Discord about it, and I think they're pretty sick of me by now. I've been
Awesome.
listening to it nonstop and just singing as much of it as I can, which is not a lot because I can't harmonize with myself to start with. But it's a magical song. I did want to ask about live shows. You've done a few kind of live online shows. Are there any more in the works for the rest of the year, or potentially early next year? Is there anything that's coming up that you can let us know about? They have gone down really well, and people have just kind of been blown away by being able to see some of this music played somewhat live.
Yeah, I think medium rare live.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to do anything this year. I think we're going to wait until next year, see how everything's turning out. I think we are probably going to do something next spring, is probably what we'll do. Something, special and unique or whatever. And, but in the meantime, I think what we wanted to do was take that live stream that we did and chop it up into individual tracks, and maybe put out some of the, the bangers or whatever, or the ones that you probably won't get us, won't be able to play live too often, like The Wind That Shapes the Land or things like that. And then put them out as a live video so that you can watch, just whichever track of your choice. And then, yeah, I don't know. I have some kind of ideas ruminating in my head for things. Maybe some like live studio playthroughs or something like that. Do that in the spring. Kind of like Awakening, but real. Yeah, I don't know. It just depends. Right now, we're like, honestly, we're just we're pooped a little here. So I think we're going to take the rest of the year off from music videos and streams and that kind of thing, and just maybe kind of dip our toe in the writing side of things, and then see what happens. Just kind of wait for January to get started up again. Yeah.
Well, last thing on the agenda, I just wanted to ask once again, you mentioned Twitter earlier. Where are some of the places that fans can get hold of you? I know you've got a Discord. I know you guys like to hang out on Twitch. What's the easiest place for them to kind of hang out with you guys, give you their opinions, chat to you guys, and just kind of feel a bit closer to the band when they can't be at a show?
Well, there's a lot of places that I try and be active on. So for me, I mean, yeah, like I said, lately I've been really enjoying Twitter, so I kind of check in on that about once a week, once every 2 weeks right now. And then Facebook, we have like a fan group, so it's like the official fan group or something, I think it's called.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Official. Yeah, right. So I try and pop in there, same thing, once every week or so, a couple weeks. Same with Discord, I pop in there. Discord is a lot more active, so I don't really get to roll back and see what everyone's been talking about. But if you tag me, and my mods will kill me for saying this, but if there's something that you really want me to see, then don't be afraid to tag me. And then Twitch, of course. Andrew's on Twitch regularly. He's renovating his place right now, so he hasn't been able to stream quite a bit. But as soon as he's got that all set up, I'm sure he'll be doing it every day like he was before. And then I'm slowly getting back into Twitch, which is really exciting. First stream back was on Tuesday. What day is it today? 2 days ago. And it was just a quick one just to kind of get my stuff together. And hopefully I'll be able to do that at least once a week again. What else? I mean, we're on Instagram, but we don't really like talk on there. And the messages on that thing are so backed up that I haven't been able to get back to anybody. I think that's mostly it. Yeah, those are the main ones. But an important thing to do is to follow us on Bands in Town. It's a really awesome app. And if you follow us and you put like that, you want to be notified if we're even, 50 kilometers around you or whatever, 500 kilometers around you, you'll get a notification when we announce a show in your area. So that's a really great place because, there's a lot of times I can't even count how many times someone has messaged us and be like, come to Dallas. And we'll be like, yeah, we were there last night. Yeah.
Well,
and it's sad when that happens. So
of course, if you send me that link, I'll make sure I put it in the description so everyone can click on that, make it real easy for them. Honestly, thank you so much for the time. On a personal note, it does mean the world when you react into these songs and you get to chat to the artists and kind of pick their brain about the stuff that you're hearing and the magical music that you get to experience and share with other people. So thank you so much for allowing me to hear that early. And I know we wanted to do a dual reaction, but my tech issues have been absolutely killing me. I promise it'll be sorted for the next one, and hopefully we can get around to that when the time is right. But I did want to say a massive thank you and wishing you guys all the success for the future.
Well, thank you. We really appreciate you reacting to us and the whole reaction community. Like, you guys are totally killing it right now. And you're spreading us all over the internet, which we love. And we really appreciate that. And, I always say that word of mouth is the best way to travel because, there's nothing like having an actual recommendation from a friend for you to, check out the music. So, the reactions are no different in my opinion. So thank you. And thanks to everyone that's listened to the album. And, thanks to everyone that has supported us all through these years. And, we would be nowhere without the fans. And that's why we continue to try and be accessible for you guys. And we love talking to you. And like, seriously, we would not be here without you. Like I said, no one pays attention to Canadian bands. So it's all because of you guys that we're here. So
that's made me feel really special. So thank you for that. Listen, you guys have worked really hard. You've been pumping out content, an amazing album. I think you've earned the rest. So go and recoup and hopefully get back to more of that writing, and who knows, maybe something early next year. But again, thank you very much. Please send my best to all the guys as well.
Will do. Thanks so much.